How excited are you with the Cardiff City being promoted to the Premier League?
Very excited, I have to say. I should admit to being a lifetime supporter of the club as well. So I can talk to you as a supporter and also as a representative of the business community. But in both regards, very excited.
And if we talk about the promotion helping the city and local economy, how do you see that?
It's varied in terms of how people see the value actually added. It's clear that there's going to be opportunities for tourism. I think when Swansea were promoted, there were a number of jobs created, around 300, 500 jobs, around £100 million worth of investment into the area, mostly in tourism. In Cardiff, I think the number is probably going to be significantly higher than that. We're talking perhaps around 3,000 to 5,000 jobs created and probably close to £150 million added to the local economy. So from a business point of view, it can only be good news.
And so are any of the local businesses approached the Chamber of Commerce for starting up or expanding or doing something different till now?
It's early days yet in regards to where the flowers will come with regards to the benefits. But we, as a chamber, are promoting Cardiff internationally as well. So the two buzzwords from our point of view this year are international and green. So an opportunity to promote Cardiff on a more global to a more global audience is fabulously welcomed.
And so are you planning on any you can say doing something different like Swansea that they took a cue and took the help of the local government in setting up and trying to maximize the profits and help the local economy? Is there anything of that sort of on the agenda or in the plan?
There's nothing on the agenda just currently. I have to say, obviously, it's still early days, as I've said, in terms of the impact locally. But you can sense already that the appetite in the city is heightened. There's an excitement amongst business people who would previously have had no association with Cardiff. I had meetings this morning with persons who absolutely had no relationship with football or the club, who from their point of view are now happily looking for ways to engage with the club in corporate sort of promotion as well. So there's a benefit for the club and for each of the sponsors that come forward. Many opportunities abound, but nothing at the moment in terms of a fabric has been woven in terms of how the chamber can support business.
Well, it is definitely, you can say it is obviously, you can say benefit for the club, but it is a benefit for the local economy also.
Absolutely, of course. As we mentioned about the possibility of the jobs created, I guess ordinarily in tourism and in terms of hospitality and hotels, of course. And we see that as limitless, I have to say. Cardiff has a good story to tell in terms of what it presents and offers. The greater Cardiff area and South Wales more generally. The Premier League is viewed by many hundreds of millions around the world. So promoting Cardiff is going to be an exciting project, I think.
So on that regard, like you said, millions of viewers across the world watch it. So it's a good opportunity for Cardiff to be put on the world map, sort of.
I think so, and I think Cardiff, notwithstanding the club's achievement, over the last 20 years has probably grown in confidence from population level through business and onwards. It's a fabulous product, it's a fabulous brand, and the news in terms of the new houses that are being built around the area, 40,000 new homes being built, adding population to the area, and what it offers all augurs well for the future.
But since everything comes at a price, like we've heard from the start, speaking to a few of the pubs, they said that with the big teams coming in, they'll even have to manage in terms of the bouncers and everything because the risk of pub brawls or something also goes higher. What do you think about it?
It's an interesting point. As I say, as a lifelong supporter, I've grown up through the years where Cardiff had a very sort of dark side in terms of its support and its reputation, and sadly it was earned. It's very unpleasant on occasions to be around Cardiff support. Having said that, the club will very, very proudly announce that they're now winner of the Family Club of the Year award in 2 of the last 3 years, beating clubs like Manchester United, Arsenal and the likes. So in terms of their tarnished brand, they've turned it around quite incredibly, quite frankly, to a point now where, as I said, people who weren't affiliated to the club in the business world are clamouring for places to be associated with the club. So if it does sadly involve in increasing policing. I'm not so necessarily sure that will happen. The stadium's well used to receiving large away followings. There are many matches at the stadium now that don't have any police presence at all. So in terms of policing, Cardiff have actually been right in the van in terms of how police actually handle away support. So I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised that we can look after all regards in that way.
So how excited are you about Swansea playing Cardiff? It's a local derby for the first time.
Well, there we go. Yeah, my wife is an ardent Swansea City supporter, so that makes for an interesting homestead. The of course, the world, frankly, is looking forward to the engagements between Cardiff and Swansea. From sort of just touching back on the last question, in terms of the potential for trouble there, again, they're very well policed. The respective fans are bust into to the away stadiums comfortably. Sad that it has to happen that way, but it's been effective in keeping the two factors separate from each other.
But it is pretty exciting, isn't it? I mean, the local derby, like you can say, like we've always heard in the Premier League, either the North London derby or the Manchester derby.
Yeah.
So for the first time, you're going to have a local Welsh derby.
Absolutely, it's and interestingly, in all the years that they've played the Welsh derby, neither of the teams have done the double over the other. So here's hoping that next year is the first for Cardiff City versus Swansea in that regard. But it's interesting just hearing overseas anticipation of the Welsh derby. It is a very fervent derby. For sure they will both end up on Sky TV and offered to the global audience, and yeah, eagerly anticipated.
And so last question, what would be your message to the local community and the fans, if anything that they need to do, or the way they should behave in the upcoming season?
In terms of the business community, there is opportunity. I mean, you mentioned the downside in terms of extra bouncers or what have you. Well, that's employment for somebody, so there's opportunity directly. The local hoteliers will have an influx of away support at levels that they haven't seen historically. So they will be rubbing their hands, anticipating good days ahead. And I think, to be honest with you, business finds a way. So there will be lots of other businesses that will sort of grow from green shoots and take advantage of the Cardiff promotion.
So will the Chamber of Commerce help the local businesses if they need some help?
Absolutely. We represent somewhere around 1,500 businesses in South Wales, and that figure continues to grow. Any number of support mechanisms that we have are available to members. We run many events. In fact, we host often events in the Cardiff City Stadium. Indeed, we have our annual exhibition and a large 400-person breakfast at the stadium in June. So we're well associated with the club, and look forward to helping them gather the harvest of their efforts.